It's time to reimagine exceptional. Introducing the 2024 Buick Envision. Experience advanced technology with breathtaking clarity and help keep the noise out, creating a serene space within. With advanced safety technologies standard on the Vision, experience confident driving wherever the road takes you. Discover what it's like to make every day an occasion. Buick, exceptional by design.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling in RA and PSA, relieve fatigue, and stop further joint damage. And in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occur. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
You take back what's yours.
AbbVie could help you save.
My grandfather's run Maya Hatter for over 75 years now. He's got so many life experiences that he can share. Finding the exact date on Ancestry that our family business was founded is special to share with my grandfather. I get that moment every day.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
That dog, Jay.
All right, check out these live.
What dog?
Coming out of Georgia.
You bet.
The water levels remain incredibly high. Look at these images. Our correspondent on the ground, Dave Malkoff, says this is extremely unusual. There have been dozens of emergency services rescues for people stranded in their cars across the city. The storm is now making its way towards. So let's bring in CBS News meteorologist Grant Gilmore. He's got the latest on the storm track. Grant, what can you show?
He better have some sense. I ain't got none.
Looking at the imagery there coming out of the Atlanta area, the National Weather Service is doing a good job of keeping up with relaying the latest information. I do want to pass along some of the peak wind reports that we've received, really a little bit before landfall last night and then through this morning. Perry, Florida, really close to where we had landfall last night. 99 mile-per-hour winds. You head down to Cedar Key, 84 mile-per-hour winds. Even places like St. Petersburg picked up some wind gusts there in downtown St. Peter on 82 miles per hour. The rainfall is really the focus right now. You saw Dave looking at the flooded conditions there in Atlanta. Even worse conditions in western North Carolina, upstate South Carolina. But some places in Florida picked up over 15 inches of rain. Meanwhile, Salem, South Carolina has seen 11 inches of rain with even more rain on the way. Here's the latest on Helene, a tropical storm, but the wind speeds are not really the issue, though it is odd to see a tropical storm moving the Appalachian Mountains. Look at all that heavy rainfall moving into portions of western North Carolina, upstate South Carolina, all that fuchsia-colored polygons there. Those are flash flood emergencies. That's a tick up from flash flood warnings where the flash flooding is serious and there's ongoing water rescues in several places across that part of the country. Watch here. Here's the latest forecast as we watch Helene slowly spin out and merge with an upper-level low-pressure system. By Sunday, maybe a few lingering showers over portions of the Ohio Valley back into the Appalachian Mountains. But between now and probably Saturday morning, tomorrow morning is when we see the heaviest of the rainfall. A rare high risk of flash flooding continues across parts of western North Carolina, upstate South Carolina today. Some places could pick up an additional nearly half foot of rainfall, with even more rain back into western Tennessee and western Kentucky. Flat. Back to
all right, Grant, thanks so much, man. We'll talk to you.
From many places.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't look good. All right, we're going to talk with you just a little bit later in the show, Grant. Thank you very much, man. All right, soon, indicted New York City mayor, that is Eric Adams, will appear in the Manhattan courtroom. He arrived at the courthouse earlier this morning. As you can imagine, there was an enormous media scrum out there. He was arraigned on 5 federal charges, including bribery, conspiracy, and campaign finance violations. Frank and Anna Schechter. She is the CBS News senior coordinating producer for crime and public safety. Joins me now. So Anna, remind our viewers exactly what he's charged with. Not just the charges that I read off, but what is specifically alleged by the federal government.
Hi, Vlad. So the federal government is alleging a years-long cozy relationship with foreign businessmen and people close to the Turkish president Erdogan.
I know it's gonna be cold in Tunica. It's cold.
That relationship with
It's cold down here. Okay.
International flights through Istanbul, France, and India, and other places around the world, staying in multi-thousand-dollar suites, and he would only pay a few $100s in Istanbul. He stayed in the Bentley suite. Prosecutors allege in the St. Regis in Istanbul, kind of these lavish perks, and that what they allege is that they were giving him all these perks and then campaign donations through straw donors, so that's also illegal, in order to curry favor. And once he was elected mayor, they wanted their consulate building, a huge high-rise in New York City, to be ready in time for Erdogan's visit. So there was a time crunch, and they allege that Adams pressured the fire chief to approve the building even though it had not passed fire inspection. So that's one of the most damning allegations in this indictment. It is a long indictment. There's a long narrative of all the different perks that he got, and even how he used a Manhattan rule of matching, where he was able to take $10 million in funds that was supposed to be public funds. Those were matching other donors for his campaign. Those are the allegations. That's a big number, $10 million in funds that were supposed to be for the people of New York. And so Damian Williams, the prosecutor for the Southern District of New York, is going to be making his case. Of course, today at the arraignment, Mayor Adams will be read his rights, and he will have an opportunity to give his plea. So far, he's given us every indication that he is pleading not guilty to all of these charges.
So let me ask you this, Anna. If he does resign, there is really only if he does not resign, there's only one other person who can remove Adams from office, and that's Governor Kathy Hochul. What has she said so far about this?
So far, she has remained mum. In the past, she and Adams were allies, political allies, and she has been a longtime supporter of his. She said in a statement yesterday that she wanted to wait and see how this plays out, but she is, as you said, the only person who can remove him if he does not step down himself. So all eyes are on the governor as well as this continues to play out.
All right. Anna Schechter, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Vice President Kamala Harris is heading to the U.S.-Mexico border today as former President Trump tries to blame her for what he says are the Biden administration's failures. We're going to go there next. You're streaming CBS News 24/7.
Gonzalez, what's up with it, man?
Hey, Flo. Cool leg warmers.
Thanks. They're just for the bus ride to work. They're not part of the official uniform.
No tunes today?
No. My apartment was robbed last night. With my cable-ready TV, VCR, portable cassette player.
Yep, all the latest tech.
If only Progressive had renter's insurance, like their home insurance.
Then we can bundle our cars and get the same 24/7 protection. I think we just invented that. This is the best day ever.
Well, I still got robbed.
So, pretty good day.
Manhood looks different from guy to guy, but when yours bends in a different direction, you might feel bothered by it. So talk to a urologist, because a bend in your erection might be Peyronie's disease, or PD. It's a condition that involves a buildup of scar tissue, but it's treatable. Xiaflex is the only FDA-approved non-surgical treatment for appropriate adult men with Peyronie's disease. Along with daily penile stretching and straightening exercises, Xiaflex has been proven to help gradually reduce the bend. Don't receive if the treatment area involves your urethra, or if you're allergic to any of the ingredients. May cause serious side effects, including penile fracture or other serious injury during an erection, and severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Seek help if you have any of these symptoms. Do not have any sexual activity during and for at least 4 weeks after each treatment. treatment cycle. Sudden back pain reactions and fainting can happen after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have a bleeding condition or take blood thinners, as risk of bleeding or bruising at the treatment site is increased. Talk to a urologist about what your manhood could look like. Find a Xiaflex trained urologist at bencarrot.com.
Some days you can feel like a spectator in your own life with chronic migraines. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they start. And treatment is 4 times a year. In a survey, 91% of users wish they'd started sooner. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
It ain't even about that. Eventually,
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems,
Shirley,
any of the signs of
what's up with it, man?
Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and heat. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Chronic migraine will still keep you from being there. Why wait? Talk to your doctor about Botox and get in the picture. Learn how Apple can help you save.
Look at that Wendy's breakfast burrito. Fresh potatoes, seasoned potatoes, sausage. Gotta hand it to the tortilla. Sucker's holding on for the boss of breakfast, gotta be Wendy's.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. I recommend Pronamel Active Shield because it actively shields the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. Try Pronamel mouthwash.
Free CBS News app.
We're gonna be nothing.
For the stories we are following for you this morning, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced a nationwide investigation.
If I get any smaller, bro. Here we go. I think I weigh like a buck 60, a buck 70. Somewhere around there.
Tragically, 10 deaths.
Yeah, somewhere
The U.S.
around there.
government has reopened its program to let Americans order free COVID tests by mail. Any household can order or kits on the website covidtest.gov.
I can never stop. I just needed it. Jerry was soda, man, was to laugh.
Starting this weekend and for the next couple of months, Earth is going to have a second moon. Scientists say a newly discovered small asteroid about 32 feet long will be captured by the Earth's gravitational pull on Sunday and temporarily become a mini moon. It's expected to break free of the planet's gravity in November, but good luck spotting it. Astronomers say it's so small you can only see it.
I give up on you.
All right, we want to go back to the weather now. Helene is pummeling Georgia and North Carolina. After leaving a trail of destruction in Florida, the heavy rain dumped several inches of rain, submerging cars, roads, and leaving a muddy mess. Even though the storm weakened from a hurricane to a tropical storm in the last few hours, it's still packing a punch. North South Carolina.
When I don't feel like it, I ain't got it.
CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry is in North Carolina, where residents are
But like
bracing for
sometimes you
impact.
need-
Skylar, what are you seeing right now on the ground?
Hey Vlad, always good to see you again. This is a bit of a break from the relentless rain that we have seen over the course of the past few hours here, but officials say that there is still significant wind gusts that they are concerned about throughout the remainder of the morning and the afternoon. They also say that they will be watching the historic river levels. There are several rivers in and around Asheville that they say that they are watching as the water levels have poured onto the streets. In fact, county officials just held a press conference virtually just a few moments ago talking about some of the damage that they've already seen, saying that obviously there have been toppled trees, debris in the roadway, toppled power lines as well, but they also say that they have experienced at least one mudslide that crews cannot get to. They say that there is at least one structural collapse in that area as well, and there are people that are unaccounted for. They are still urging people to stay home. Simply do not get on these roads if you do not have to, as emergency crews are waiting for conditions to improve just a little bit before they can get back out. They also say that they have responded to more than 50 water rescues up until this point. That's just in Buncombe County alone, which is where Asheville is. We've seen evacuations all throughout this morning, and officials have urged people living in those low-lying areas to try to get to higher ground or seek shelter throughout this storm. Hundreds of thousands of people are without power here. We know that crews were on standby working to try to restore power in a lot of locations. In fact, one of our hotels actually went without power as well. So crews are continuing to try to work through these conditions. Obviously, you can hear the wind gusts.
The sound effect time on.
We expect to see somewhere around 70 to 80 mile per hour gusts throughout the remainder of today.
This nigga funny as shit. What's a toxic trait a girl can have that you love?
Yeah, so Scott, folks that are there,
You're gonna build an iron farm with no blueprint, just a few easy steps. Step one's gonna be the village. I always build something like this in a circle so that all the beds are closest together. You need 20 drop blocks and 20 beds. The layout doesn't matter, but having the pillows of the bed closest together makes it easier for you. Don't forget to put a wall around it. We can't have anyone getting into our village. Iron golems will always attempt to spawn within 8 blocks sideways and 6 blocks vertically of a random bed in the village. So what you'll see some people do is invalidate the spots using leaves or by putting path down. By invalidating the spot, if it chooses that one as the spawn and it's invalid, then it cancels it, so you're gonna get less golem spawning. So what I'll normally do is build an entire platform so that every golem spawn is valid. All you gotta do now is fill it in with water, unalive them, and collect the goods. So what I'll do is I'll go 8 away from the middle like this from every direction, and I'll just fill it in. And once that's filled in, I'm gonna go 1 higher right behind it, like this. And what something like this will allow me to do is place water right here and allow it to have flowing water from every side without creating any source blocks. Since this is within the golem spawning range, you'll want to invalidate these blocks as well. Alright, all you need to do now is just place your hoppers where you're going to collect the iron. What you use to kill them doesn't matter, but I usually use campfires because they're easier to make. The water doesn't have to flow in the middle like this. It can flow to the left and you can have it drop into a chest that's easier to collect or whatever you want. But for me, I feel like this takes up the least amount of space while still getting golems to consistently spawn. And with that, your iron farm is done. Here's how you're going to build an iron farm with no blueprint, just a few easy steps. Step 1 is going to be the village. I always build something like this in a circle so that all the beds are closest together. You need 20 drop blocks and 20 beds. The layout doesn't matter, but having the pillows of the bed closest together makes it easier for you. Don't forget to put a wall around it. We can't have anyone getting into our village. Iron golems will always attempt to spawn within 8 blocks sideways and 6 blocks vertically of a random bed in the village. So what you'll see some people do is invalidate the spots using leaves or by putting path down. By invalidating the spot, if
Jordan Stewart took home his dream smoke show Charger 10,000.
But still, sustained winds at 60 miles per hour. And here's the concern. As those trees, if they potentially fall because the ground is saturated, those trees and those root systems are the structure that holds some of those mountainsides up. And that's where we could start to see some landslides as we go through the second part of the day. So really watching this area closely as Helene continues to travel north. But notice how more rainfall is spreading out to the west. While that's a concern, it's been that upslope rain that's been producing very heavy rainfall in addition to those flash flood emergencies. All the polygons in fuchsia there are the heightened level of concern.
Tara says she on the way. Tara says she on the way.
Okay, dire danger right there. All right, there's the plan as we go through the next couple of days. That low pressure system that Helene will merge with will continue to spin out towards the Ohio Valley, but still, over the next couple of days, a high risk of flash flooding through the southern Appalachians back into western Tennessee as well. Rainfall totals upwards of a half foot, still on top of upwards of a foot of rain that's already been observed. Now, the tropics still very much active. We've got Hurricane Isaac, not a threat. Also, another area with a 90% chance of development there. The good news, at this point, no immediate threat to the United States, for at least a little while, Vlad. We could kind of take a breath and take survey of what Helene has done to the southeast and mid-Atlantic.
All right, Grant, thank you very much, my friend. We'll check in with you a little bit later. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris is heading to the U.S.-Mexico border in Arizona. It's a critical visit for her, as the latest polling shows Donald Trump is leading in that state, especially.
I'm happy you help her. I'll be happy you help somebody helping her.
Is traveling with the Vice President.
I fussed at it for a reason.
Ed, good to see you, my friend. So,
she needed some.
The Vice President.
I'm happy you be. I'll be happy you be. Somebody be helping. I'll be trying to help her.
I know she tell me that all the time. You got some cologne.
I get tired of it.
I don't like this shit. That's why I said
Republicans had drafted over the last year, but then was blocked earlier this year by mostly conservative Republicans who were, in essence, taking cues from former President Donald Trump, who had said he was opposed to it. Harris has argued, will argue again today, it's expected, that he essentially did that for political purposes to try to remove or to keep the issue alive, in essence, through the election and allow him to continue campaigning on it. And as he does, as you said, he continues to have the advantage. When we ask voters who believe that issue, immigration and border security, are their top issues of concern, which of the two candidates is best prepared to handle it, Trump beats her by several points. But what her team points out is that on this issue and on the issue of the economy, which she was also discussing this week, the more she is out there talking about it, explaining what she has done or would do, that gap starts to narrow. And at this point in the game, with about 30, what are we up to, 39, 38 days to go, the more she can bring those margins in.
Zayden, what up with his son? Zay?
Who that is?
This is also an opportunity for her to remind people
you can see the camera too.
California. She dealt with this issue to some extent. She prosecuted transnational gangs. She'll point out that she made visits to the border herself.
He in here. He just nigga his name right now.
Where your little po ass at?